What is up, guys? My name is Nick and welcome back to another Battlefield video. Today we're going to be talking about recoil control and how to get your gun to stop looking like it's bouncing all over the place and keep it nice and straight when firing. Now there's only a few things you have to do in order to do this. The first thing is the attachments on your weapon. You want to use anything that gives you vertical, especially vertical and horizontal recoil control. Any attachments that do that are going to help you guys stay straight on target. I'm not going to go in and show you guys the best attachments and stuff. That's what best class setups are for, but what I will say is that yeah, just focus on that on your guns if you want less recoil. Now, what can we do to actually make your recoil easier to control in game? There's a few things in the settings. There's a few things that you guys could do to visually control it. There's a few things you guys could do to actually control it. And there's some other things as well. Instead of screaming and crying that someone is using a Cronus, because most of the time they're probably not, let's figure out how you guys can make it look better for yourselves as well. And the first one that I want to talk about is just visual, all right? So if we go down into the graphics tab here, and then we go over to field of view, which I'm playing at a 108 currently, if I drop this all the way down to an 85, there's pros and cons. The pros are that this target is a lot closer to my screen now. The cons are, and I'm not going to put my right thumb on my right joystick here, I'm going to show you guys the recoil control for what it actually is that the recoil kind of just looks like it's popping all over the place, as you guys can see. It's going up to the ceiling to about this mark right here on the ceiling, but it looks really dramatic. It looks really crazy and really hard to control. Now, if I were to take this and if I were to go back into the graphics and turn my field of view up all the way to the maximum, it would change this as well, and it would now make it look like the target is really tiny and really far. The recoil control is going to be the same. Again, I'm not going to touch it. You guys are seeing it's going up to the ceiling again, but it doesn't look as dramatic. And what I like to tell people, what you guys could do in yourselves right now watching this video, take your other hand if you're watching it on your phone, or if you're not, whatever, just take one of your hands and do the perfect symbol. You know where you put your thumb and your index finger together at the tips to make a circle? Hold it as far as you can from your face and just do light little movements with that hand with an object in the center of it. Just have an object far at the other end of your room and try to focus on that. Do light little movements and you're going to see that once you're really close, that object looks like it's moving like crazy. And then I want you to bring that finger, your hand, right beside your eye and do the same thing. And it looks like that same object is now stable. Kind of like the number 5 here. The closer we get, the more, even though I'm doing the same movements, the more that 5 moves, the further we go, the less that 5 now moves on the screen with the same exact movement. And the reason for that is field of view. So if you want it to look nicer in game, definitely put your field of view higher. Is it only aesthetics? Does it only show? Is it only visual? Yeah, basically it is. But if you have less visual recoil, you will be more inclined to play better. You will actually play better. So it's really good as well. Another thing with it is that once you put your field of view higher, you'll actually move around the map a lot faster. Well, you don't actually move around the map faster, but it looks like it. Now, I want to show you guys something, all right, in terms of recoil control. Why am I still sprinting? All right, in terms of recoil control at a higher field of view, let's go, and again, we'll put our field of view all the way down to 85, all right? And we're going to go to the same spot. Look how slow I look. I look slow. I look like I'm running in mud. It looks awful, okay? That's one thing with playing at a low field of view. It sucks. But we're going to stand, you know what, right here on this blue X. Just so you guys see I'm not lying or anything, we're going to point at this red door, and we're going to shoot and not control it. That looks pretty wild, right? Especially because it's so close. Everything just looks like it's flying all over the place. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go a little bit right of this blue X. We're going to stand in the exact same spot. We're going to shoot at the exact same level, except this time what we're going to do is we're going to go into the graphics and we're going to put the field of view up all the way to 120. And I want you guys to see the difference here. There's no actual difference in the recoil itself. The door now looks a lot smaller and further, but the recoil pattern is going to be exactly the same. The only difference is it's not going to look as dramatic, as wild on my screen. My gun looks like it's actually shooting straight, even though it's shooting upwards. And if you guys go ahead and look here, the recoil pattern, pretty much identical. They aim at roughly the same height. They stop at, or they start roughly at the same height as well, except this one started a bit lower. That's why it also ends a little bit lower than this one here. But that's that. It's basically the same. So it's only visual when you're looking at that right there. Now, one thing I also want to say, and this is something that I'm always going to use, are control freaks. Control freaks help out by extending the right joystick. And the more you extend your right joystick by, the more movement you have, the more you could control it as well. So by doing that, having a control freak on, I can make little micro movements, millimeter movements, and it works in game. It works out nicely. So it makes your accuracy feel stable. It does all that. If you guys want to get yourself a pair of control freaks, they're relatively cheap, around 10 to 20 bucks a pair. You guys can use code ITSNICK12 and even save yourself 12%, which is really nice. So if they're $12, you're going to save $1.20 plus 2%, so like $1.40, $1.60. I don't know. You're gonna save yourself a lot in that, all right? So make sure you go ahead and do it. They're gonna be even cheaper than they already are. Another thing I want to talk about is something that's actually gonna help your recoil control, and that is in the controller settings. I've mentioned this quite a few times, but you want to go to the infantry aim assist. It's probably one of the most important ones, and fix this. Don't put it too low. I have recommended 30 in the past. I'm not gonna recommend that anymore, because let's be honest, 30, if I go to somewhere around 30, it is really slow, all right? Like this is pretty slow. But I want you guys to notice something, that once you lower your infantry aim assist and you start spinning, once you guys see the targets, you could feel it. Like you could just see it. It kind of glues onto those targets. I'm gonna move nice and slow here. So I'm gonna stay at this speed. You guys are gonna see I'm not gonna move it, but once it gets to the targets, it's gonna slow down, speed up again, slow down at every single target. And that's just gonna help your aim assist a lot. And the stronger your aim assist, the stickier your aim, the easier it is to control your recoil, because that recoil is trying to fight back down and stick to it as well. So if I go, and I'm gonna show you guys an example here as well. We're going to go ahead and go into that controller setting and put this one up to the highest, which is 100, I believe, that you could go to. Yeah, a lot of people like to play on this. It is nice. It is good. You could turn on people really fast, maybe a little too fast sometimes, but now it doesn't really slow down when I pass those targets. And if I'm going to shoot and stuff, that recoil control, it still might be a little easy, but because any little micro movement I do is going to move my joystick, it's going to move my in-game character really, really fast. If I'm trying to control that recoil downwards, it might pull too far down. I don't know if you guys understand, but like right there, that I'm just moving it just a little bit. Thank God I still kill him there. I'm moving it just a little bit, and it's going really far down right there. But I'm going to do the exact same movement now, except this time I'm going to go ahead and put it down to like 45. I like 45 now. At least to me, it feels really nice. 45 is what I like to play at, but we're going to do that, and I'm going to do the exact same pull down, and you guys are going to see that it's going to stick to the enemy. I'm going to do it again. See, I'm trying to do it. I'm trying to go as fast. Now I'm bringing it all the way down, trying to go fast, and it just won't, right? So if I'm here and I'm pulling down on the recoil, god dang it. I didn't know I had to reload. Let's just kill him, all right? I'm going to do the pull down once this thing comes back up, and you guys are going to see what I'm talking about. It's going to stick to his body the whole entire time. So if I go here and I start pulling down the whole time, it didn't fly all the way down to here like the other one did. It's just a lot easier to stay on target. Another thing is, if you want nice recoil control and stuff, crouching, it's cool. It's all right, as you guys could see. As long as those little white lines, those little things right there, are smaller on your screen, which crouching does, it makes it slightly smaller. That means that it's now tighter. Your aim is now tighter. So when you're hip firing, you could hit targets a lot easier than if you were standing up, all right? Now, this AR has nice hip fire anyways, so it doesn't really matter. But it does translate slightly into when you're actually aiming down sights. Now, this shouldn't control the recoil too much, but it does make you a little more stable. Just, I think it's a few percentage, but we're going to go nice and close here, and we're going to take a shot at this one right here who's nice and far. I'm prone right now. I am not going to control my recoil, and you guys are going to see as I'm prone, it's pretty sticky, all right? It stays onto the target pretty nice. Now we're going to stand up. We're going to do the same thing, and you're going to see it might stay on target. I might not control it as much, but you can see it's starting to fly up a lot more. So that's another thing. If you're at long range, go prone if you have the chance. Last thing I want to talk about, guys, tap fire. Tap fire it's in the game, man. I mean, you could just do it. Just go like that. Just tap fire at long range. As you can see, I missed not even a single shot. It's actually really nice. Now, let me just go here a second and say that you want to tap fire at long range. I'm just going to recap what we mentioned. You want to tap fire at long range. You want to turn your infantry aim assist a little lower, just so it could stick to targets a lot nicer. You want to make sure that you guys are playing at a higher field of view. I wouldn't recommend 120, especially if you have trouble aiming at this distance. That's a really small target to hit. So maybe start off your aim assist somewhere at like, let's go to 108, something that I'm at, maybe even lower. You could even start at like 100. Just don't go all the way down to 85. So we're going to stick to 100 here. And once you get used to this, once you start hitting your shots really nice, that was weird. Once you start hitting your shots really nicely on this field of view, I don't know why a lot of shots are missing. I guess this gun sucks. But yeah, then you can bring it up. Just bring it up slowly. I wouldn't bring it up like crazy. I wouldn't bring it up so fast right away, all the way up. But if you could get used to something like this, just your confidence will be boosted. Why will it be boosted? You'll feel a lot faster when you're running around the map. Everything is going to feel a lot quicker and stuff. That lack of recoil is going to make it feel like you're cheating. Even though it's only visual, it is psychological as well. So making it look like you have no recoil is going to be really good. Now I have a gun right now that has nothing to do with recoil control. I think the only thing I have to control the recoil, as you guys can see, is that vertical right there. That vertical in the front, I forget what it's called. I know it's the vertical grip. It might just be called vertical grip. I don't know. Whatever it is, that's all I use right now for recoil control, and you guys can see how solid it already is. So yeah, just play out a higher field of view, control your recoil, and this might sound like a conceited person saying this, but it's really not, and I don't want to hurt anybody who just started playing FPS games, but you might suck. Let's be honest. I'm good at FPS games, all right? I'm not the best. I'm not saying I'm the world's best FPS player, especially in Battlefield. I'm definitely not the best Battlefield player, but I've been playing FPS games for probably 15 years, maybe more now. I just know how to control the recoil. It's just second nature to me. My thumb does all the work without me even needing to think about it, but I could understand why a lot of people just wouldn't be good at it, and it just makes sense because you just started. You don't have the strength, you don't have the practice, you don't have anything that enables you to do better, I should say, at controlling that recoil. So it just takes time, and it just takes patience as well. So you just gotta kind of just relax. You'll get it eventually, guys. But I'm sorry to say, it might be a skill issue. The more you play, the better you'll get. But yeah, didn't want to end it off on a bad note. But if you're bad, you're bad. If you're good, you're good. It's gonna come with practice. See, if you're bad, you could get good. If you're good, you can't really get that much worse. So don't worry about it, guys. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to drop a like. Like I said, if you want Control Freaks, use code it's Nick12. Save yourself 12%. Thank you guys for watching. My name is Nick, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.